What if everything you know is wrong?
You know, we've all been there. We set these huge, ambitious goals, pour in a ton of effort, and then nothing. We just fizzle out. But what if the real secret to making massive change wasn't about taking massive action? What if it was about something much, much smaller?
It's got to be one of the most frustrating feelings in the world, right? You're putting in the hours, you're trying to do all the right things, but that needle, it just isn't moving. It can really feel like you're stuck on a treadmill, just running faster and faster, but going absolutely nowhere.
And this, right here, is the core idea we're going to unpack. The road to extraordinary results, it turns out, isn't paved with some grand heroic act. Nope. It's built tiny brick by tiny brick with the small, seemingly insignificant decisions you make every single day.
So let's kick things off with the fundamental principle that makes all of this work, the compound effect. And listen, this isn't just some feel-good, motivational poster stuff. This is a predictable, measurable force that's behind almost every lasting achievement.
Think of it like compound interest, but for your life. You know how a tiny bit of money invested and left alone can grow into a fortune over time? Well, the exact same thing is true for your habits. A small, positive choice, repeated every day, doesn't just add up, it multiplies. It starts to snowball.
Now, to really see this in action, let's look at this classic example from Darren Hardy. You've got three friends all starting from the exact same point. One guy, we'll call him Larry, he just kind of coasts, doesn't change a thing. Then there's Brad, who makes a few small, bad choices. An extra soda here, a little junk food there. But Scott, he makes these tiny positive changes. He reads just 10 pages of a good book a day and cuts a measly 125 calories. I mean, it sounds like nothing, right?
Oh, but you'd be wrong. Fast forward just 31 months, and Scott's tiny habits have compounded in a huge way. He's lost 33 pounds. Not only that, he's earned a promotion at work, and his marriage is better than ever. Meanwhile, poor Brad is overweight and unhappy. It's a perfect illustration of how those tiny, daily choices can steer you toward completely different destinations.
Okay, so we get it. Compounding works. But how do we actually make those good choices stick? Well, the answer lies in our next big idea. It starts not with what you want to achieve, but with who you want to become.
Now, what's so cool about this slide is the shift in perspective. A reader of James Clear's work shared this, and it's profound. That first statement, I want to stop eating bad food, that's a struggle. It feels like a restriction. But the second one, I am someone that eats healthy, well, that's just an affirmation of your identity. And when your behavior is just an expression of who you are, it becomes almost effortless.
And here's another perfect example. I can't smoke implies that you're sacrificing something you actually want. It creates this feeling of loss. But I don't smoke. Wow, that's a power move. It's a simple declaration of who you are now. You're not a smoker who's resisting a cigarette. You're simply a non-smoker. So here's the crucial takeaway. True, lasting behavior change is really identity change. The goal isn't just to do something different, it's to become someone different. Once you nail that, the right actions will just naturally follow. But let's be realistic. We're not always going to feel like living up to our new identity. Willpower, it's a finite resource. It's like a phone battery. It runs out. And that's why the smartest people don't rely on it. Instead, they become architects of their environment. If you want to break a bad habit, you just have to make it inconvenient. You add friction. I absolutely love these real-world examples from people. Keeping your junk food in a locked car? Genius. Removing the graphics card from your computer to stop gaming? Now that is commitment. The more steps you put between you and the bad habit, the less likely you are to actually do it. And of course, the reverse is true for good habits. You want to reduce the friction, make them so easy it's almost silly not to do them. Want to work out first thing in the morning? Sleep in your gym clothes. Boom! You've just removed a step, a decision, and an excuse. You're designing your life so the path of least resistance leads straight to your goals. For a true masterclass in designing your environment, just look at the great Maya Angelou. She used to rent a tiny, sparse hotel room just to write. The room was stripped of every possible distraction. Everything inside, from the Bible to the deck of cards, had a specific purpose: to get her into the rhythm of writing. She literally engineered her own success. This brings us to our final and maybe our most important idea. The greatest creators and thinkers out there, they don't sit around and wait for the muse to strike. They don't rely on motivation.
They rely on their systems.
This quote from the legendary author Octavia E. Butler just says it all. Inspiration is this fleeting, unreliable guest. It's amazing when it shows up, but you can't count on it. Habit, on the other hand, is the professional who shows up every single day, ready to work no matter what. It's the engine of all great work.
And just look at this incredible system. Benjamin Franklin didn't just hope to be a virtuous person, he engineered it. He identified 13 virtues and then focused on just one per week, methodically tracking his progress in a little book. This wasn't about waiting to feel inspired. It was a deliberate, habit-based process. He was literally building his character 1 week at a time.
So after seeing how these small choices compound, how our identity shapes our behavior, and how systems always beat inspiration, it really all comes down to this. We're not talking about a 5-year plan, not a massive life overhaul. Just one small, almost insignificant, positive choice. What will yours be?
Understanding begins with why.